I'm Mandy and this is my channel Make It So. So I thought I'd come on today, as I've been absent for a while, and tell you all about a challenge that's happening in January called Finish That Whip. But before I finish any whips this January, I thought I'd show you two that I managed to do last year. If you've watched me for a while, then you'll know that I've had whips growing by the ton, literally. I'm going to confess I have quite a few, not as many as some people maybe, but enough for me to fill a couple of calyx boxes, and those calyx boxes have been in use for quite a while, so I need to empty them, and what better way to do it than by doing this challenge. So going on to what I finished, I managed to finish 9 whips last year, which doesn't sound a lot, but when they've been growing over the years, I think that I did quite well. So I finished 2 in November. I took one with me to the retreat I went on, and I've never actually shown you them. So the first one I finished was what I'm wearing, and this is the Ellie & Mac Connie Casual Shacket. Now, I'd made one for my daughter and I loved it so much that I wanted one too, but I didn't love the process of making it because the material did like to move around a bit, especially when you're doing thick bits like the cuffs. So I'm not going to show you up too close, but it's not as perfect as it could be, but it doesn't stop me wearing the jacket, and I love it. And it's just really nice and warm for this time of year, because at the moment in Norfolk it's -5 and it's snowing, so I'm nice and cozy in this as well. So I use this material, I can't remember where I got it from, which is really bad of me. I must get better this year at logging things like that on my stash hub. But when I bought it, I liked it for this lovely yellow band that went through, and by some miracle, when I'd actually cut it out to start with, I managed to match it. And I'm going to show you some pictures here that the lovely Rachel from the French Seams took for me when I was at the retreat, and you'll see I'm pointing the lovely pattern matching. But the only thing I omitted on mine compared to my daughter's was I didn't bother with the chest pockets because I don't really put anything in those, so I didn't see the point. But I really love it. I'm glad I finished it, that's all I can say. It's a lovely pattern, it's just choosing the material a bit more wisely next time. I have got some more to use up, so I will be making another one, but not yet. I need to finish some more whips first. So that was my first whip I finished. And then the second one, I only got a quick photo of me when I finished it at the retreat, and I'll put that up here. It's another patina blouse. I made it in some Christmas fabric because that was the intention, to have one for Christmas. So when I say patina blouse, is it patina blouse or shirt? I think it is blouse. I'm thinking now, but I'll correct myself on the screen if I'm wrong. But I cut this out last Christmas, so we're talking 2024, and I never got around to finishing it because it was long sleeves, and when I did it at the retreat it did take me quite a while to finish because of the long sleeves and all the plackets and things, but I was determined to get it done for this year because I did have another make I was going to do for Christmas, which is still in my whips pile, and it's this one. So as you can see, it's got the long sleeves and the plackets, and it's got these multicoloured buttons. Hopefully I'll be able to show you. Wrong side, Mandy. There we go. So I've just done different colours. I had got some picked out originally for it. Do you think I could find them? No. So I finished that one as well. So that was my 2 whips that I finished. So on to the challenge. Very excited about this because it's the push I need to get on with some whips again. I had carried on with another whip I was going to finish last year, but I'll show you in a minute. It's very, very long-winded, so it wasn't a quick finished whip like some of the things I've got. I actually went through everything I've got and I've written exactly what I need to do to finish it, because I think then I can dip in and out and it won't seem so daunting when I go to pick up the envelope and think, what was I doing with this? Because I can now look in my book and it tells me. So let me tell you a little bit about the challenge before I show you my plans. It's called Finish That Whip 2026. You hashtag, and that's what you need when you reveal your make. So finish any whip in the month of January doing the hashtag finish that whip 2026, and also tag the One Lisa show, Lisa from the One Lisa show, in as well on Instagram. Please put where you live, because Lisa isn't in the UK, but the challenge is open to everybody worldwide. So some of the prizes can be sent anywhere. So make sure you say where you live, because that's one thing I always forget to do, because I just assume anyone knows where I live because I tell you about it, but they don't. So that's very important. And it doesn't have to be a sewing whip. Just because I'm talking about sewing doesn't mean I don't have other whips lingering in the drawers of other crafts that I do. It can be any artistic craft, so knitting, crocheting, cross stitch, painting, things I've never learnt to do that I've got in there as well. Anything like that, just make sure you finish it in January and tag Lisa in, as well as the hashtag. Nearly got my words mumbled then. So what am I planning to do? So this one was, like I said to you before, something I started to finish, which is what a whip is, isn't it? In November time last year, maybe October. There was 2 reasons I didn't complete it. One, it is a very lengthy make. It's a Sew Over It Farrah jumpsuit. I've had it in my whip pile for forever, because again, I can't remember where I bought the fabric from. It was before Stash Hub. I think I've had it probably about 4 or 5 years. That's my honest thing on that one. So the thing about it was, I got to step 35 and there's actually 69 steps. So it's definitely not a quick finish whip. But another reason was, unfortunately, since I cut it out, I haven't even indicated what size I cut out. This is how old this is. It's a bit snug and I can't do up this front bit at the moment here. So I did lose a bit of weight just before Christmas, then Christmas happened. So I know that I will fit in it by the time I've finished it, hopefully. Maybe not the end of January when I'm revealing it, but I'll be close. So I really want to get that one done, because that is one of my longest whips in my pile. And I do like the idea of the jumpsuit, or I think it as the flight suit, like the Bianca flight suit, but I just like that pattern. So this is it. I suppose I should really show you where it is so you know I have started this. And you won't be shocked at the colour if you've been watching me a while. It is this one. And it is a cotton twill. So I had to have 4 meters of this one. And I remember cutting up a bit to do the Xanthi shorts, and I panicked thinking, oh God, I haven't got enough to finish this now, but I had actually cut all the pieces out, thankfully. But you'll see it's got lots of top stitching as well, which is why there's so many stages. I've just pinned on, that was where I got to. I just pinned on the pockets, but I've already joined it, so I think I might have jumped a step just to get it looking like a flight suit. But that is the one that I'm going to concentrate on getting finished by the end of January. And then the other one I've got is even older. And when I started making this, my daughter was really into Frozen. And so I didn't actually use Frozen characters, but I thought I'd base the colour scheme on it, because we'd done her bedroom at the time in a nice teal colour and pinks and nice blues. So I went through everything I had at the time, which was a lot less than now, and I cut out lots of squares like this. So it's a quilt. It was just a basic square quilt, but they're all different fabrics. Some of them are better quality than others. And when it came to actually top stitching everything or quilting it with the wadding layer and the bottom, which is this lovely colour teal, someone told me, excuse me, someone told me that you had to do it all by hand. And they very kindly sat with me for a few hours one day, and we did sew up a few squares, but that's as far as I ever got with it. And I thought, I can't do this. I'm not the neatest hand stitcher anyway, although I am getting better with ladder stitch on things I've made. But I thought I could just top stitch it with my walking foot. So I did a few rows and then I stopped, and that's how it's been for the last year or two. So I actually spent a couple of hours on it today while I attended a social and done a few more rows, but it's really difficult. It's the size of a single bed with overhang. So you get to a certain point and you're having to shove it through. Luckily I've got a 475 QE Bernina, so it is a quilter's edition and it's got the wider part for you to put your material through. But I am still struggling and it hurts my shoulders, which is why it's going to take a while to finish. But if I do that at least once a week, twice a week, I will hopefully have it finished for the end of January. I didn't really think about what I was going to be doing to do the edges, but I have got a really lovely teal bias binding I bought when I went to America a couple of years ago. So I'm going to finish all the edges off with that. And it does highlight to me how inaccurate some of the squares were put together, because when I'm sewing down a straight line they do jut out slightly. But I'm not going for perfection, I just want it finished so that she can actually enjoy it, because she said even at the age of 17 she will still have it because it's not got any Disney characters on it or anything, and it will still be a nice topper even if she has that side. I don't mind. So that is another whip that I'm definitely determined to finish for this challenge. And then I have got a couple of other things, but they are things that I class them as whips because I've cut them out, but I haven't actually started sewing them yet. And one of them is another sew over it pattern with lots of top stitching, so I'm glutton for punishment, and it is the Xanthi skirt. I'm trying to find the graphic for you, I'll put a little picture up here, but I've got it in this gorgeous dark green needle cord I bought from Roy's when I went to the knitting and stitching show, because I always had an idea of making a dark green skirt to go with a cream jumper. So that's one that if I finish the other two I can move on to. And then the last one is a pyjama top. So I do have to cut out the bottoms as well, but it's one I showed you last year if you watched me. It's the Ellie & Mac Adult Classic Pyjamas, and I didn't have enough of this lovely fabric from my Pink Door subscription box to make the whole set, so it stopped me starting the top. But since then I've purchased it off somebody, so I can do the complete set. So that is my whips that I'm showing you. I'm not going to show you all my whips because we would be here for ages, but if I can get those finished, then that's a bit more room in my Kallax box for my homeless fabric to go into. So what are you planning to do? Are you going to join in with the challenge? Because I think if you do have whips, which I know some don't, but if you do have whips, it's a good one to join in with, and it does motivate you to get it done, which is the whole point. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Yesterday you would have seen Natalie from the Seaside Sewist, and tomorrow you've got Sam from Sew Let's Sparkle with Sam. So there's lots of people joining this, lots of lovely prizes, there's been some really lovely sponsors, and I think it's a great challenge that Lisa has run for quite a few years now. So I'll see you soon again, hopefully, with some other projects I've finished. If you can find some time to sew this week, make it so. Bye for now.